So coming to our main topic of today's webinar, how can AI help in combating COVID-19? In January, the WHO issued a notification about a flu-like outbreak in Wuhan, China. Since then, the world was first introduced to the virus that later came to be known as coronavirus or COVID-19. Unlike other viruses like SARS and MERS outbreaks, the pandemic COVID-19 has a lesser death rate, but it spreads much faster. Therefore, to fight COVID-19, a much faster response time needs to be developed, and we have to use all the technology at our disposal. Right now, there is a demand for fast and accurate virus detection, response, artificial intelligence is being used as a total support tool to fight against the viral pandemic that has affected the entire world since the beginning of 2020. First stage of AI application in combating COVID-19 is the accelerating research it has generated. AI is used to understand the virus and accelerate medical research on drugs and treatments. AI has so far proved to be helpful in accurate detection, tracking, predicting, and analyzing current and future COVID-19 patients. As we have already seen that AI has shown massive development in healthcare, researchers in Peking University, China, developed host and infectivity prediction of Wuhan 2019 novel coronavirus using AI tools. It is vital to identify the host of coronavirus for the complex nature of this virus and our inability to understand them. This unprecedented attempt to predict virus hosts using AI marked a notable advance in the fight against this global pandemic. The coronavirus outbreak was not actually the first case in which AI was applied in combating a global pandemic. In 2018, the University of Glasgow in the UK announced using an AI tool to predict viral reservoirs in pandemics like Ebola and Zika. Finding natural virus hosts could significantly help prevent the spread to humans, which could notably limit the spread of virus on a global scale. In terms of healthcare, diagnosis and treatment of disease have been a focus of AI since the 70s. Healthcare is one of the industries in which AI has been widely and adequately applied in areas such as developing medicines, collecting health data, diagnosis, and treatment of patients. However, at present, AI is no way capable of replacing human capabilities. Rather, we have entered an era where humans and machines work together. Recently, researchers from MIT trained an AI model to recognize molecules that might make good antibiotics. The AI model learned which molecular structures are potentially effective in killing the bacteria, and hence which molecules would make good antibiotics. The model identified 9 possible molecular structures that could be helpful in making these good antibiotics. AI can also help leaders make more informed decisions in the face of COVID-19. Questions like how many hospital beds will be needed, or for how long should we issue a shelter-in-place order, were answered through AI. It is used to understand the volume of exposure, infection, and hospitalization to better design their response plans. Now, healthcare providers and researchers are faced with the exponentially increasing volume of information about COVID-19, which meant it's difficult to derive insights that could be actually helpful for treatment. Most data are not really anything useful, only a handful of them provide usable information. Scientists are literally drowning in COVID-19 research papers. So in response, a new search website powered by AI was developed that can help researchers quickly and easily search for papers and documentations and answer major important questions like when is the salivary viral load highest for COVID-19, etc. Next stage is the early detection. Artificial intelligence is used to detect the virus structure at early stage. The AI-powered early warning systems can help detect COVID patterns by gathering mainstream news, online content, and other information channels in multiple languages to provide early warnings. One interesting thing that not many know is about Blue Dot. It's a Canadian AI-based startup company that issued warning of this pandemic 1 full week before the American Center of Disease Control. Blue Dot gathered data from a variety of sources like foreign language media to identify the outbreak before China confirmed the disease. If artificial intelligence technologies like this would have been used actively from before, pandemics like the coronavirus could have been prevented or controlled in a much better fashion. Next is diagnosing the virus. Infection of COVID-19 on lung cells and human respiratory systems have raised real concern to the human lives. During the current pandemic spread across the world. CT scans of infected patients' lungs showed more sensitivity. Recent observations in CT scans of human lungs Recent observations on CT scan of human lungs infected by COVID-19 shows that it is a challenging task for the researchers to find suitable image patterns for automatic diagnosis. Many AI-based models have been proposed so far for effective diagnosis of the virus through lung CT scans. Also, a team of Chinese and Israeli researchers have devised a novel artificial intelligence breath analyzer test to detect COVID-19 rapidly. It is an intelligent nanotechnology comprised of a nanomaterial-based sensor array, which can rapidly detect COVID-19 from specific volatile organic compounds in exhaled breath. They believe that this pre-screening diagnostic system could offer a screening solution that can be performed at home itself, greatly reducing the unneeded conformity tests and reducing the burden on hospitals. Then we have predicting the evolution of the virus. Epirisk is an AI computational platform designed to allow a quick estimate of the probability of exporting individuals from locations affected by a disease outbreak from one area to the other through airline transportation network and daily commuting systems. It also lets the user to explore the effects of potential restrictions applied to airline traffic and commuting flows. By interacting with the map, the user can inspect the relative risk and the probability distribution of the most cases for locations. In addition, the computed results are downloadable in commonly used data format and the risk map could be stored as a high resolution image. Next important stage is surveillance. AI assists in preventing or slowing the virus spread through surveillance and contact tracing. In South Korea, algorithms use geological location data and surveillance camera footage and credit card records to trace coronavirus patients. This has immensely helped South Korea contain the virus in an efficient manner. Many countries, including Austria, China, Israel, Poland, Singapore, as well as South Korea, have set up contact tracing systems to identify possible infection routes. In Israel, for example, the location data was used to identify people coming in close contact with the known virus carriers and send them text messages directly to their phones to isolate themselves immediately. We all know that information is power. AI is also used in responding to the health crisis through personalized information and learning. While AI machines use travel, payment, and communication data to predict the location of the next outbreak and inform border checks, search engines and social media are also helping to track the disease in real time. However, a lot of misinformation also spreads through the media. Scientists in China are using AI techniques to monitor the spread of coronavirus across the country. The experts of Harvard Medical School are gathering data from social media posts, webs, news reports, official medical data, and doctors' information to anticipate areas and populations that the virus might be spreading next. The AI is tracking the use of specific words within a geographical area that might imply symptoms such as respiratory fever, which are associated with the virus. The program can distinguish between someone delivering the news about coronavirus and someone complaining about the symptoms of the disease. Then comes the delivery stage. Semi-autonomous robots and drones are being deployed to respond to immediate needs in hospitals, such as delivering food and medications, cleaning and sterilization, aiding doctors and nurses performing deliveries of equipment, and reducing the workload of healthcare workers. Robots like UBTech Robotics Atris, AIM Bot, and Cruiser robots were deployed at a Chinese hospital specialized in treating COVID-19 patterns. The company says that the robots, which were typically used in real and retail and other scenarios, were modified to learn and perform tasks that can help keep the hospital safer for everyone, especially frontline healthcare workers. The tasks include providing video conferencing services between patients and doctors, monitoring the body temperatures of visitors and patients, and disinfecting designated areas. In service automation stage, we see that virtual assistants and chatbots have been deployed to support healthcare organizations. For example, in Canada, France, Finland, Italy, the States, and by the American Red Cross. These tools help to prioritize patients depending on the presence of symptoms. The United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention and Microsoft have developed a coronavirus self-checker service to help users self-assess COVID-19 symptoms and suggest a course of action. This Facebook Messenger bot, Kobo, asks questions to determine one's risk of catching the virus. Finally, AI helps in monitoring the recovery and improving early warning systems. AI tools can monitor the economic crisis and the recovery, for example, via satellite, social networking, and other data. For example, Google's community mobility reports can learn from the crisis and build early warning for future outbreaks. We see that researchers have successfully applied AI in predicting the spread of coronavirus, as well as identifying potential drugs for the treatment of the disease. AI plays a vital role in developing drugs and vaccines. AI applications can also be used to track and securely manage data of confirmed, recovered, and death cases. So also, AI reduces the workload of our frontline workers. While we are impatiently waiting for the first vaccine to be available, artificial intelligence is slowly bridging the gap in our fight against COVID-19 virus. With this, I conclude my topic and feel free to ask any questions.
Thank you, Abhilasha. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. That was good. In fact, very good.
Thank you.
I want to apologize to you and the audience for the technical problem we faced, for which your presentation, was delayed. But it was very smart of you to go on. Okay. As I had introduced you as the smart Abhilasha, you went on.
Yeah, it was not a big issue for me.
Okay. This happens. We have been facing these technical problems.
Yeah. Everyone is learning as we go.
Yes, everyone is learning. And one thing, your lecture was very interesting. Your audios, your visuals, they have got the attention of everyone. And you're flooded with questions, I tell you.
Yes.
Okay, so I also have some questions, but I'll ask later. I'll hand over this question and answer session to Assistant Professor Phanindra Medhi, Head of the Department of Philosophy.
Thank you, Prabalika ma'am. As per the agenda of today's event, now I would like to conduct the interactive session. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Before we start, I take the opportunity to extend my words of appreciation to our respected resource person, Ms. Abhilasha Nanda ma'am, for the outstanding presentation on such a relevant topic. I am really thankful to you, ma'am, for your insightful presentation. I must appreciate our esteemed participant also for the patient hearing. It is observed that most of the participants have put their words of appreciation in the chat box by using very nice words or very nice adjectives on the presentation of our respected resource person. Already we have a few nice questions in the chat box from different esteemed participants. I will just convey the questions to the resource person, ma'am, so that ma'am can answer this question one by one. The first question we have from Dr. Anjana Devi, ADB College, Nagaon. The participants wants to know how far artificial intelligence has been successful in combating the pandemic COVID-19 in India. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Phanindra sir. Thank you, Anjana ma'am, Dr. Anjana ma'am, for your question. I also wanted to talk about the use of artificial intelligence in India. From many reports, we see many countries like the West, China, South Korea, using different AI technologies to combat COVID-19, as I have shown in the presentation. But it's hardly, there is hardly any information regarding India or researchers doing active work. I'm sure they're trying their best to make vaccines and drugs, but using artificial intelligence, there hasn't been very useful researchers from India as of yet. And I hope some of the already applied artificial intelligence technologies by other countries or other companies could be adopted by India for better control of the virus. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I think the participant will get the answer to his satisfaction, to her satisfaction. Thank you. The next question we have from Saraswati Talukdar, Assam Don Bosco University. The participant wants to know, are there any disadvantages to artificial intelligence?
Thank you, Shreya Lakshmi. Artificial intelligence, as we know, could create some job unavailability, some kind of unemployment in areas where mostly manual laborers or humans have been working since ages. Artificial intelligence robots could replace those. Even in education, I don't say that artificial intelligence can completely take over teachers' duties, but like the situation we are seeing today, pandemic situation, we could not go out to have an interactive session with our teachers. Most of the students in the school had to learn through Zoom meetings. Artificial intelligence is slowly getting integrated into our lives. At this moment, humans and artificial intelligence, to an extent, are working together, and there is a high possibility in the future that most of our jobs could be completely replaced by artificial intelligence if the systems are more reliable enough. I hope this answers your question.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question we have from Dr. Minmay Bhattacharjee. The question is, how far AI may be successful in controlling crime in society, particularly in India?
Thank you, Dr. Minmay ma'am. I have already mentioned about the CloudWork AI tool that has helped Chinese police to catch around 10,000 criminals through their facial recognition tool. And also many police and law enforcement in the States and the UK have been adopting this technology to combat to catch criminals before even the crime has been committed from their history and previous patterns. Also, the facial expression recognition tool that I have shown in my demo is helpful in finding people's mentality from their expressions. Terrorist attacks could be prevented to an extent in the future by understanding people's psychology. So the application of AI in catching criminals is wide, and right now it's not that effective as expected, but in the future it can be more reliable, and I'm sure every law enforcement will take the help of AI to catch criminals. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. And we have another question from Vaishali Apurva Chaudhary, Gandhi Girls College. She wants to know, to what degree can AI replace human jobs?
Thank you, Vaishali. AI can replace jobs in factories and industries where manual labor has been used. Cheap manual labor mostly has been used from ages. I talked about AI's positive impact on children, how most developing countries use cheap child labor in factories and industries. Now, using AI robots and automations, these works have been easily done by artificial intelligence tools, and the children have a better childhood by doing their usual education, by getting proper education and having a proper childhood. Other areas where AI can replace jobs are the delivery systems. Drones could be used. Amazon had previously introduced Amazon drones to deliver packages to people's home and doorstep. The technology is yet not completely reliable and successful, and we have a long way to go, but in the near future, artificial intelligence can replace all kinds of manual labor jobs that we see in our everyday lives.
Thank you, ma'am. One more question from Dr. Satyajit Das, faculty members, Dept University. The question is, do you think that through the exercise of AI, the havoc of global COVID-19 pandemic will be mitigated in the country like India?
Thank you, Dr. Satyajit, sir. If AI applications are successfully applied, efficiently applied in Indian healthcare, a lot of our COVID-19, I won't say that it will completely cure COVID-19 or help reduce the infection spread in India, but some of the applications that Indian government can apply are the surveillance, CCTV footage, credit card information, for contact tracing of person to person. Using AI, a lot of widespread virus infection could be controlled, because country like India, with our population density, we need efficient and fast response plan. So the surveillance and contact tracing is one of the most important AI application that can be used. Also in hospitals, better decision making has to be made, because for the availability of beds, for the availability of testing kits, we have to prioritize people with their symptoms, people with more dangerous symptoms should be given more priority, and those decisions could be accurately made by AI applications. Also, we could deploy AI robots in our healthcare to reduce the frontline workers' workload. Thank you.
One last question we have from the participant wants to know, what is the difference between India and South Korea that has AI technologies is in education system? What is the difference between India and South Korea that has AI technologies in education system?
South Korea has been known for its high technology use and deployment of AI in every field. Classroom TV monitors and teaching through presentations with widescreen monitors, interactive sessions through video conferencing are even done in India, but are mostly done in other countries, including South Korea, in everyday and better way. Also, during the researches of AI applications, the government funds universities, government and public universities of South Korea to make usable projects, usable artificial intelligence tools in industries and businesses, which can also be adopted by the Indian government to encourage more universities and researchers to work on AI applications for better deployment in Indian industries and Indian businesses.
Thank you for your time and efforts you took to share your knowledge and thoughts and experiences to our esteemed colleagues. Thank you once again, ma'am. Now I conclude the interactive session, and over to Prabalika, ma'am. Prabalika, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Convener, Mary. Thank you. But I wanted to ask a question to Abhilasha. Do I have the time?
Yes, yes.
Now, I remember, there's a subject called robotics.
Yes,
My sons, they had it, robotics.
yes,
And you had also mentioned about robotics
yes,
in your presentation.
yes.
So, is there any link between that? Because you must have also studied that in school.
Robotics is an applied field of artificial intelligence. I already mentioned the way we fluidly move around, we do everyday manual tasks that can be replaced by AI-based robots. Like one such example is Spot Robot from Boston. It can be used to do all kinds of hard and hazardous human manual work that are done by humans. Mostly those robots could replace the dangerous labors done by humans since old days. Also, robots can be used as chatbots, using emotional intelligence, using facial expression recognition. They can understand our emotion, like the Sophia robot. She can understand. She has a lot of expressions, and she can interact with a person. She is very human-like. So our future could also be in a way that we will be surrounded by human-like humanoids. Robots that are human-like are also known as humanoids. So that could be our future.
Thank you. Then there's another question. You mentioned 5 processes in the making
Yes.
of a program.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
You remember in your presentation. Now,
Yes.
how long does that take? How long is it, to come into force?
If someone wants to learn AI, it's at the beginning, it's not very easy. Every process will take a lot of time. In the beginning, learning about data itself will take a few days or even say months for some. And then there comes the pre-processing of data, clean use of data. Then because I say there will be a lot of time for the initial stage, because data is not just one kind of data. There are different formats of data. And depending on what kind of format we want to work on, we have to invest different time for every format of data. For image data, there is a different kind of pre-processing. For sound data, there is a different kind of pre-processing. Eventually, the model will learn in the same way, but to feed the data, the initial research time or the survey time could be high. But once you grasp the idea of how the model works, and if a person is good at a few computer programming languages and AI frameworks, that person could roughly in a couple of months learn the basic 5 process of making a AI code.
Thank you. That was very nice. I have many questions, but there is no time. We're running out of time. So I hand over to Associate Professor Ira Chaudhary from the Department of Economics to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Prabalika. On behalf of Women's Cell and Study Center of Paschim Guwahati Mahavidyalaya, I, Ira Chaudhary, would like to take the privilege to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the people without whom this event would not have been successful. First of all, I would like to thank our honorable resource person, Ms. Abhilasha Nanda, Ph.D. scholar of KAIST University, South Korea, for gracing this webinar and for her commendable speech on the topic, the role of artificial intelligence in combating COVID-19. Abhilasha, we highly appreciate your presence today and for giving us an opportunity to learn how artificial intelligence can be used in combating COVID-19 and in many other sectors also. Thank you. Next, I would like to mention the name of our principal, Dr. Rana Sarma sir, for his constant support, help, and inspiration for the success of the webinar. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to thank Mrs. Parul Buissa, ma'am, Vice Principal of our college, for her guidance, support, and help in conducting the webinar. I would like to thank IQAC team of our college for their help in organizing the webinar. I, on behalf of Paschim Guwahati Mahavidyalaya and entire fraternity, extend a very hearty gratitude to all the participants. I am happy to express vote of thanks to Dr. Prabalika Sarma, H.D. English Department, and Mr. Fanindra Medhi, H.D. Philosophy Department, for their help in conducting the webinar. Now, I would like to thank Mr. Vikas Datta and his team for their technical support in organizing and holding the webinar successfully today. Finally, I am happy to express my sincere gratitude to Mrs. Saraswati Rajbongshi, Convener, and entire Women's Cell and Study Center team of our college that has made the webinar a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Raman. Now I just want to make an announcement. If you have filled the feedback form in the chat box, you have to fill it now to get the certificates. This is an announcement to the participants that you need to fill up the feedback forms in order to get the certificates later on. Please check your chat box for the feedback form. That was very nice. We had a healthy discussion. And I once again request the participants, because we always get queries from them for the certificates, please check the chat box for the feedback form. Shall we call it a day? Thank you once again.
Thank you.
all.
I will declare this.
Thank you, Abhilasha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Respected participants, the feedback form is in the chat box. Please visit the feedback form and then you will get an email with containing your e-certificate. Thank you.
Thank you everyone from the entire Paschim Guwahati family. To the participants, to the resource person, to everyone, to our principal and everyone, my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please visit the feedback link. The feedback link is available on the chat box. Thank you. Huh?
Any. Bye. Bye.
Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Any. Bye.
Thank you.
এনি বহুত ভাল লাগিল দে তোমাৰ আৰু ভাল হোক তোমাৰ পালকৰ এই খুব ভাল লাগিল
Yeah,
Thank you.
we enjoyed, right?
yes
Okay, thank you.
Who's filling up the form?
ভালকে থাকিবা
Thank you.
Annie, God bless.
Thank you.
তোমাক ধুনীয়াও লাগিছে আজি এনে ধুনীয়া
Bristi, thank you.
Hello, Annie. বৰ ধুনীয়া লাগিছে বৰ ধুনীয়া লাগিছে
আপোনাৰ ভাল ন
আছো খুব ভাল লাগিছে আৰু কি জানা তুমি এনেকে আমাৰ মাজত আহিয়ে থাকিব লাগিব দে আৰু পিছলেও বৰ মৰম লাগিছে বহুত দিনৰ পিছত দেখিলো যে তোমাৰ খুব ভাল হৈছে দিয়া আৰু কি জানা মানে টপিকটো ইমান ৰিলেভেন্ট মানে আমি এইবোৰ টপিকৰ ওপৰত ইমান আইডিয়া নাছিল মই ৰবটিক্স শুনিছো কিন্তু এআই ওপৰত ইমান মই একো নাজানো
এটা ইমান ধুনীয়াকে গৈ আছে ষ্টপ নকৰাকে সো
ভাল লাগে
বহুত স্মাৰ্ট হয়
প্ৰেজেন্টেচন প্লাস
ইমান স্মাৰ্টলি কৰিছা নহয়
বৰ বঢ়িয়া হৈছে খুব ভাল
টেকনিক্যাল কৰিলে বুজি নাপালে হয় সেইকাৰণে অলপ
বঢ়িয়া হৈছে
ভাল লাগিছে
আপোনাৰ ভাল
এনি ভাল লৈছে দে খুব ভাল লৈছে বৰ মৰম লাগিছে তোমাক চাই
থ্যাংক ইউ বহুত দিনৰ পিছত দেখা পাইছো আপোনাক
ভালে আছা নিশ্চয় ঠিকে আছে তোমালৈ শুভেচ্ছা থাকিল দেই
থ্যাংক ইউ
next I am watching very family catching up with you
yeah
in karo
all's well ends well
yeah that
what's the time there now
time to kit at South Korea
4 p.m. 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Yeah, 12:30 that means 1:30 2:30 3:30 4 3.5 ঘন্টা আগত yeah 12:32 right ভাল লাগিল
you'll get many more invitations
সৰস্বতীক ধন্যবাদ দিছে ৰে ভাল হৈছে তোমাৰ সৰস্বতী বহুত কষ্ট কৰিছা
সঁচা তাই বহুত কষ্ট কৰিছে
বহুত টেনচন
মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা এটা কথা ক'ব বিচাৰো বাইদেউ
স্যাৰ
তাৰ মানে হৈছে কি আপোনালোকে আপুনি আৰু সৰস্বতী যিখিনি কষ্ট কৰি থাকিলে ইমান দিন আমি আচলতে একদম মোৰেল সাপোৰ্টটো দিব পৰা নাই একদম বিশেষ খবৰ ল'ব পৰা নাই কিমান কৰিছে আৰু আমাৰ টেকনলজি দিয়ে এখন প্ৰথম পতা হৈছে
পাৰল বাইদেউ
কথা হৈছে নিজে হেৰি কৰাৰ পিছত আপোনালোকে যিখিনি কষ্ট কৰিলে খুব ভাল লাগিলে
আপোনালৈ ধন্যবাদ দিছে স্যাৰ
নাই মোৰ ধন্যবাদটো ঠিকে আছে
আপুনি আমাক এইখিনি হেৰি কৰিছে
মই মানে খুব হেপি আৰু মই এইটো কথা আকৌ এবাৰ মই ৰিটাৰেট কৰিব বিচাৰো যে আমাৰ যিখিনি নিজৰ ৰিসোৰ্স আছে নিজৰ ৰিসোৰ্সটো আমি ইউটিলাইজ কৰিব লাগে
ঠিক আছে
নিজৰ ৰিসোৰ্স ইউটিলাইজ কৰি তাৰপিছত আমি বেলেগৰ ৰিসোৰ্সৰ কথা ভাবি আমাৰ ৰিসোৰ্সটোকে যদি আমি হেৰি নকৰো
আমাৰ গৌৰৱ স্যাৰ আমাৰ গৌৰৱ আমাৰ কলিগৰ ছোৱালী আজি আমাৰ কলিগৰ ছোৱালী আজি ইমানখিনি ওপৰত পাৰ্চনে আছে সঁচা গৌৰৱৰ কথা স্যাৰ
লাষ্ট ইয়াৰ নেক্সট এসেসমেন্টৰ আগত স্যাৰ এবাৰ তাই আমি আগেও মাতিছিলো আগেও এবাৰ যোৱাবাৰ নেক্সট এসেসমেন্টৰ
কলিগৰ ছোৱালী মানে আমাৰ ছোৱালী তাই ইমানখিনি ওপৰত গৈছে we are actually proud of her
সঁচা ইমান স্মাৰ্টলি কৰিছে নহয় সঁচা স্যাৰ
সেইকাৰণে we want to encourage her please our way best wishes সব আছে তোমাৰ blessings please go ahead কলেজত আহিলে আহিবা আমি ভাল পাইছো ঠিক আছে পাৰলুবাইকো ধন্যবাদ জনাইছো সৰস্বতী বিশেষকে বহুত কষ্ট কৰিছে ধন্যবাদ জনাইছো এনেকুৱা যিকোনো কাম কষ্ট আৰু হেৰিয়াৰ মাজতহে সিদ্ধি হয়
ফলটো ভাল হয় স্যাৰ হয়
ফলটো ভাল হয় আৰু কষ্ট নোপোৱাকে কৰা কামৰ আমেজটো নাই গতিকে কষ্ট পালে ভালো লাগে তেতিয়া
কত টোপনি ফটি তাই
বহুত চিন্তা কালিলৈকে
লিভ কৰিব পাৰো ন মিটিঙৰ পৰা
হয় স্যাৰ থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার
ঠিক আছে
Thank you. সবকে নমস্কার।
থ্যাংক ইউ
Any bye.
বাই বাই এনি
Bye. Bye. सबके bye.
আমি feedback like feedback.
ওয়েলকাম
অনিশা বাইদেউ বিজু বাইদেউ প্ৰিন্সিপাল ছাৰ আটাইলৈ মই বহুত বহুত ধন্যবাদ এইখিনি যে
তোমাক ধন্যবাদ দিছে
Firstly, thank you.
থ্যাংক ইউ
Firstly, thank you.
থ্যাংক ইউ বাইদেউ বাই
বাই
Bye.
বাই বাই বাই
Bye. Bobby.
বাই
Bye.
ঠিক আছে বাইদেউ
Thank you.